Welcome to the Veterinary Marketing Podcast, where it's all about helping your veterinary practice attract, engage, and retain clients. Broadcasting a new podcast every Monday from sunny Southern California, here's your host, Brandon Bashirs.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to episode number 120 of the Veterinary Marketing Podcast. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we're going to be talking to Adam Greenbaum, founder and CEO of whiskercloud.com, about reviews and how to get more reviews in your practice, why they're so important, how to manage reviews, both positive and negative, and just a bunch of really solid information. So Adam, for those of you who don't know him, he is a fantastic guy. He's built whiskercloud.com, which is an amazing company. They provide beautiful custom-built websites for veterinary practices. They're extremely reasonable. They are great at SEO. I just can't say enough good things about Adam and his company. He does a fantastic job managing that company, managing the build-outs and the customer service and everything. Just really impressed with Adam. Every time I meet him, I like him more. So he moved down here to Southern California, and so I was excited because then I said, hey, we could hang out. So my wife has been pregnant, though, and so we haven't been able to hang out as much as I would like to. But it was great to go meet him at Long Beach at his office and talk to him there. So we really get into some good conversations here about specifically reviews, things that he sees. So with Whisker Cloud, he manages also social media and reviews and management of reviews and reputation management and things like that. And so he's got a lot of really great experience in dealing with this and how to respond, what to do to get more reviews for your practice, and just a bunch of really practical, great information here. And I know that reviews are always such a big topic of concern for veterinary practices, and obviously there's a good reason for that, because they're very, very important. So I know that this episode is going to be very, very beneficial for you. So just before we begin here, I want to mention a few things. First, if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe in iTunes or in Google Play. If you could do me if you could do me a huge favor, please leave me an honest review. Reviews are also important for podcasts, just like they're important for your veterinary practice. So if you enjoy this podcast, be sure to give me a review. I would really appreciate it. If you ever need help with anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. The best place to reach me is typically my Facebook page. You can send me a message there. Or you can send a message or an email to brandon@veterinarymarketingpodcast.com, and I will do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. So one other thing is, if you would like to see what Adam could do for your veterinary practice, if you go to whiskercloud.com/Brandon, that's whiskercloud.com/BRANDON, you can get a free demo, and he will take extra special care of you because you're an awesome podcast listener. So be sure to head on over to whiskercloud.com/Brandon if you're thinking about a new website for your veterinary practice. So, as I mentioned, we're going to be getting into reviews here. If you have any questions about this, also, I'm sure you could send Adam a message on his Facebook page as well. He's very active on all social media platforms. So be sure to check out Whisker Cloud, and without further ado, here is Adam. I hope you're doing good today. We are at the Whisker Cloud headquarters up in Long Beach. And so, nice office, first of all.
Thank you.
You've been having a lot of cool stuff going on. You've grown like crazy and moved over to the West Coast, which is great.
It's been quite the journey. And I reached out to Brandon and I said, we need to talk about reviews. Because it's a big topic with our 200 and something clients, and I think it's a big topic in the veterinary world overall, and there's a disconnect, and I think it's time to start getting a little bit more real about reviews.
For sure. Well, it's definitely a loaded subject, so let's jump into it. First of all, I know that there are a lot of companies that do reputation management, and it sounds like that is a feature that Whisker Cloud has. Can you tell me, what is reputation management, first of all, in your opinion?
Yeah, so what we do is, for the people on one of our certain plans, we handle their social media, we handle their all of their reputation management online. So we've got a couple different, they're expensive programs that are listening tools. So we're looking for their name, whether it's on Google, whether it's on social media, whether it's on dozens of different local listing sites. And anytime those things pop up, we get an alert. Hey, they were mentioned on Yellow Pages, or they were mentioned on Yelp, or hey, our new reviews come in. So we see it live, and we work with the vets to help them respond, good or bad, and especially if it's bad. And, we just stay on top of it, because if you're not on top of it and, all of a sudden you get a bad review or two that could be turned around if you were on top of it but don't pay attention, then those reviews are going to be there forever.
Definitely. So I think a lot of companies, or I think that a lot of vets, specifically in the digital marketing space, when they hire somebody to handle, whether it's their social media or it's their SEO or any part of it, they kind of just expect to pass it off completely.
Yeah.
And I think that is probably not a very productive mentality to have, specifically I think you need to take an active role, at least in keeping up on it, knowing what's going on. Otherwise, you're gonna end up in trouble. So can you tell me kind of what you think people should have as their expectations when they go into getting reputation management or reviews or any kind of digital marketing service for that matter?
Yeah, so I'm going to look in the camera when I say this. Yes, we are here to run things for you. Hey, like a dog. We are here to help run things for you and be your eyes and ears and help you present yourself better, look better, act better, and take yourself to the next level. With that being said, we do not call our clients, we call them our partners, because when they get a bad review, I personally take it personal. I don't want to see any of our doctors that I know personally. I don't want to see our clients, partners, being talked badly about. And unfortunately, small business ownership, there's going to be bad reviews. There's going to be good reviews. And you're going to have a lot of that. You have to be willing to work with us, and whether you have us or you don't, you have to be willing to care and put in the time it takes. I was talking to one of our partners the other day in Northern California, and she said, well, why do I have to pay attention to all this stuff? I'm just a doctor. And again, you're not just a doctor. You are a business owner. You have employees that need you. You have a building. You've got bills. And that building doesn't have people walking in if the last 10 people that come in give you 1-star reviews. So, it all goes full circle, and you have to treat everything like a business. And unfortunately, in 2017, reviews are part of the business.
Definitely. Well, I think that's a good point in calling them partners rather than clients, because every time I've heard horror stories or had anybody describe kind of bad experiences, the typical process is that they just kind of put it all on that person or that company, and they just expect them to kind of save them. And handle it, save me. I need somebody to show up and do everything. And that just ends up being kind of really bad. So I really appreciate that. And I think just like Adam mentioned right now, bad reviews are just, they're going to happen. Everybody, it's impossible to be perfect 100% of the time. And so even when you are perfect and there's just these misunderstandings and expectations aren't met, just in dealing with hundreds and hundreds of people like a veterinary practice does. So what do you think is kind of the feedback loop that people should set up to handle negative reviews? First, we'll talk about negative reviews, and then we'll talk about positive reviews.
Listen, this is your business. And you're in an industry, it's an emotional industry. I think anyone that knows me personally knows that my dogs are my life. Would take a bullet for either of them. 2 Boston Terriers, Sophie and Baxter. They are my world. And I understand that in the veterinary world, things happen. I think it's like any doctor. These are family members and their lives are in your hands. And sometimes you're going to hit it quick when you get their nails, and you're gonna have issues, or you're gonna misdiagnose something, you're gonna miss something, and maybe you didn't see the tick that time, or all of those things. That's why I'm on the digital side and I'm not in the office, because I'm not a vet. But the point is, it's veterinary world's a tough business, because as we've said around here, and we've done some social media posts about it, pets can't say, hey man, this hurts. And so my 7-year-old Boston Terrier Sophie right now, she's got a rash. Both of my dogs have really bad allergy issues. She obviously rolled in grass, and I can tell she's uncomfortable, but she can't say, hey, like my stomach is killing me right now. It's really itchy. So I get her on Apoquel, I get her on hydroxyzine, we give her baths, and it's getting better. But if I if I go into a vet, and listen, I think it goes both ways. I don't think that every pet parent's great. I don't think every pet parent says, listen, this is Sophie. She's 7. She's had a history of allergy issues. She's taken Apoquel and hydroxyzine before. We've done Cytopoint. Every time she rolls around in grass, she gets this rash. So I'm thinking it's that, but I brought her in to look at this. I think most people say, hey, here's my dog. She's got a rash. Let me know what I need. What do you mean I need this shot? What do you mean I need this medication? It's $100. What a ripoff. Online, what a ripoff. My dog rolled around in grass, which they never mentioned, and now they're trying to sell me $100 medication. So, I think communication is important. And I was telling Brandon a story about how one of our partners called me and said, we just got 2 one-star reviews back-to-back days. What the hell? I thought you guys managed this. And I said, well, we do. And so, of course, I talked to the team who had emailed them and said, hey, we got these reviews. How do you want to respond? And so they ended up having 3 bad reviews over a couple days, and 2 of them named one of the employees. We're gonna change the employee's name to Rachel. So Rachel was named twice in these bad 1-star reviews. So when I spoke to the doctor and practice owner, I said, listen, I can't fly down there and talk to Rachel for you and say, hey, Rachel, be nice. I think the fact that 2 people named her by name means something's wrong. She was having a bad day. We get that. But as the business owner, it's important to be on top of those things and make sure all employees understand you have to be nice, you have to be good, you have to be caring. Look at us. We've got over 200 veterinary hospitals we work with. We get, I think last month we had like 2,000 or 3,000 support tickets come in. Guess what? They're all not nice. A lot of times, people don't say thank you. They don't say please. Hey, what are your thoughts on this? You guys are great. Most of the time, it's do this and how fast can you get it done? Or hey, we want to. This is a rush. We want this done right now. And guess what? It's not my place to say, hey, don't talk to us that way. Hey, be nice to our support team. It's up to my support team just to say, hey, they're obviously stressed. They're having a bad day. Be nice. Say, sure, you got it. We're here to help. Call it a day. You get to go home, see your family tonight. It doesn't matter. Same thing in the vet world. Guess what? I don't know. I've talked to a lot of people. They say, some people have said half the people that come in are tough to deal with. I can imagine it's probably close to that. But at some point, you just have to just remember that do what you have to do. Move on. Be nice. Think about the business long term.
I agree, for sure. Anytime you have a point of contact in your business, it needs to be positive. And so, especially if you're having somebody in your practice called out a few times by name in the review, that's pretty serious for sure.
Yep.
And that is the problem, not the review. That's what I would say. So that's definitely something to think about. With the response to reviews, how fast do you respond to reviews, in your opinion?
We respond same day, and we try to respond within an hour or two when they come in. Obviously, if it's a bad review, we reach out and say, hey, what do you want to do here? Do you want to give us more information? Do you want to craft a response? Do you trust our team to do it? Most times it's we trust your team to do it. Just give them the standard stuff. And obviously for good reviews, it's, if they left the dog's name or cat's name, it's great. We're glad you and Otis had a great day. We can't wait to see you soon. Blah, blah, blah. So, and I think people like that. Hey, they actually responded to me. They're actually listening. Those are the things, you think about the businesses you like in life. After this, I'm taking Brandon out to lunch, and I'm taking him to a place right next to our office. It's amazing that they're really nice and they really care. And, we just had lunch there, and they were so over the top nice and gave us extra stuff and welcomed us to California that, look, now I'm telling all of these people about it, Big Catch Seafood, and I'm taking you there, and it's just an increase in business for them. So think about it. Now everyone I meet that comes to the office, I always say, let's go next door to Big Catch Seafood. I'm bringing you. I'm talking about them here. So you think about what happens when you're good. And I like what you said about how it's not just the review, because forget the review. You want people to leave and talk about you and say, how I feel about my dogs. I've gone through a lot of vets. Obviously, most of that's been from moving. But even when we got out here, we talked to a couple, asked tough questions. There's going to be a dog in the background right there, a little German Shepherd. Welcome to Whisker Cloud. And yeah, I mean, it's just it's just an important thing to set a positive tone when people are in there with what most of them consider to be family members.
I agree 100%. And I was thinking, too, when you were saying that I think you need to have a system that's set up in place to respond to these. And so, but at a bare minimum, you need to be on all of your social media channels, potentially, with a system to set up so that you can respond in a solid amount of time. And I think that digital marketing really mirrors relationships in real life, where you can get to know people online, you can get to know brands and businesses online, and if you treat your brand and your connection with your clients from the online world as actual people, I think that will help you a long ways. And if you think about even your closest relationships with best friends and people that you meet, your relationship isn't always in a perfect uptick of everything's fine, we're happy, there's no conflict. Life is conflict, and so if you can figure out a solid way to get through conflict and get past a problem and make it up to a client if they had a poor experience, even though maybe it wasn't your fault. I'm not saying claim responsibility or that it was completely our fault, but help to meet their expectations if it's possible, and prove that you're there and committed to the relationship, and actually building the relationship forward is something that will help to increase your strength of that relationship. Because if you think about the people you know best in your life, you have to go through troubles to get a deeper level of connection with people, typically.
Well, I have stats.
Let's hear your stats.
Now, last month was a low month for reviews, and I've spoken to some of our vets who said summer months, especially the month before school opens back up, is usually a slow month. So last month, between all of our partners, 422 reviews left total, average 4.6 star rating. But there were 65 one-star reviews, which is 15.4% of the total reviews left.
So pretty much everybody was a 5-star or 1-star.
Well, you think about that average was high, but 15% were 1-star. And anytime a 1-star comes in, and if I personally, whether it's someone on our team or I personally talk to them, they say, how do you think we get this removed? Go say sorry, but it's not our fault. That's life. I apologize for things all the time that aren't my fault. That's called being in a relationship. And
he's getting married soon, so he's learning.
I'm newly engaged, and but the point is swallowing your pride for 10 minutes and potentially saving a customer and saving a bad review online worth your time. For me, it is. Guess what? We apologize a lot. We've got a lot of people we work with, a lot of different personalities, a lot of people. We've got vets in Canada on the East and West Coast. We've got them from, Los Gatos, California to Miami, Florida to, small towns in Vermont, small towns in Oregon, small towns, south of San Diego. We have people everywhere, all over Central Texas, Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky. We're everywhere, and everyone's different. So some people react differently to things, and guess what? We have one rule. When I hire someone, it's they're right, be nice, go home and live your life. It's not worth getting upset about. It's not worth starting a fight over. And trust me, if we win an argument with a client, we lose every time.
Yeah.
And it's the same in the vet world.
I agree. I think you need to stand up for your people and things for sure, but apologizing for somebody's expectations not being met is not the same as saying it was our fault and we messed up. Saying I'm sorry that you had a bad experience is not the same as saying we were wrong. So, apologizing for their missed expectations or that they had a bad experience or that they felt that they weren't listened to or, any one of those reasons, it helps to bridge the gap and empathize with them and then hopefully move forward in a positive way and figure out how you can make it right, hopefully, and reverse the damage or the negative review that was done, for sure.
Now, one other thing. Now, we're writing about this right now. We're writing this big content piece on the Whisker Cloud blog. How do you get more reviews? We get that question a lot, and the answer is literally so simple. ask for a review.
Ask
for reviews. I know it seems crazy. I know it seems awkward. We were just at a restaurant. Waiter comes over to our table and says, "Can you guys help me out?" He was nice. I said, "Sure, what's going on?" He says, the waitress or waiter that gets the most 5-star reviews for the restaurant tonight and is named by name gets like extra, days off or something like that. Can you help me out if you enjoy your meal? And what do? We have 3 people at the table, finish our meal, and all 3 of us jump on, name him by name, and give him 5-star reviews. Could you imagine if your veterinary hospital got 3 5-star reviews in a single day? That's big.
For sure.
That's huge.
Definitely.
So ask. When they're checking out and paying, do you have a good, listen, if they're walking out of there huffing and puffing, don't ask. If they just had to say goodbye to a pet, don't ask.
No.
If their puppy's happy and jumping around and they're excited, ask. Hey, thanks so much for coming in. This was so much fun. By the way, if you could, it would really mean a lot if you just go on Yelp, Google, Facebook, just write us a quick review. It would really mean the world to us. Thank you so much. If there's anything we can do to you, give their dog a treat, give their cat a treat, brush their cat, whatever you have to do, ask. It's so simple.
Yeah.
And the more times you can get those good 5-star reviews, and then when there are lapses and things happen, you get those 1-star reviews, they're not going to hit you that hard because you just got 25 5-star reviews in 20 days.
Absolutely. I think that's really fantastic. And so if you have any social media channels or email marketing, ask for them in reviews. And that's a good PS. P.S. if it would mean a ton if you gave us a positive review, or if you had a negative review, let us know so we can make it right.
Yeah.
And give them an outlet to respond, not the review, because that's a pretty easy thing. Make sure you respond to them. So tell them, hey, call us here, or respond to this email, and we'll make it right for you. And actually follow up and do that. So I think that's solid. Do you have any kind of let me see here. Do you have any good ideas on how to handle positive reviews real quick here as we wrap up?
Yeah, thank them. Call them. Hey, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. That means a lot to us. These are the little things we talk about. For us, we do them all the time. We send little gifts to our partners when, something good happens to them, or, maybe they they need to pick me up. Like, jokingly, I've sent some cases of beer when, a vet will email and be like, long week, need a beer. And then, a day later, a case of beer shows up. Or, we sent one, we were we were emailing with a practice manager, and she was like, sorry, we've been grumpy. Everyone's hungry. So we sent a pizza with a note that said, don't be grumpy anymore. Whisker Cloud loves you. So what I'm saying is a simple phone call, a simple email, a simple text, just say, hey, thank you for that review. It really meant a lot to us. We appreciate your support. And these are the little things. And I know, being in the vet world, it's hard. They're busy. You guys get asked to do, a lot of things that you don't want to do, that probably are outside of your job description. Guess what? That's the story of my life. Running a tech company.
Absolutely.
And just so everyone knows, Brandon's iPad is open, and this is important. People need to hear behind the scenes. And his email has 36,757 emails. And I want everyone to know I saw that and almost had a mental breakdown. So live on camera, I don't know if anyone saw my eyes as you open that, but I saw that and I'm 5 digits, and the first one's a 3. That really broke my heart.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. It's just nice that people can see this live.
Yeah, for sure.
But your reviews are so simple and so, it's so simple, and it can be so big for your business. And you think about, reviews, and it's not fun. It kind of sucks that, anyone can go on there and, write negative reviews about you, your competitors, ex-employees, and totally crush you, and there's really nothing you can do. So get as many 5-star reviews as you can. Be really nice. Go out of your way to be over the top. And I think people will love you and leave you better reviews.
That's solid. Well, thank you so much for coming to the end of our SD card. I feel like I want to have a cassette tape here to the end. So I really appreciate your time today, man. And thank you very much for all of this great info. If you are even considering a new website for your veterinary practice, head on over to whiskercloud.com and check them out. Get a demo. Amazing websites, custom built, with amazing customer service. So I appreciate the time, Adam. Thank you. We'll keep this Facebook Live going. All right, so I hope you really enjoyed that episode. I had a great time recording it. Thank you, Adam, for coming on the podcast. Definitely going to have you on again here in the near future. He had some pretty cool things happen where he took a post viral, and I'd like to talk to him about that, where he spent, I think, $50 and had, 8 figures of people reached. I think he reached over 10 million people with a post. So that was pretty cool. So we'll have to get him back on the podcast for sure at some point here. And again, if you want to check out Whisker Cloud, if you want to see what Adam can do for your veterinary practice, which I think there's going to be a ton of benefits for it. SEO, beautiful design, great functionality and layout, everything. Plus, he's got great customer service. So if you're interested, be sure to head on over to whiskercloud.com/Brandon. So have a great day. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out, and let me know if there's anything that I can do for you. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you on the next episode.